Okay, so today we're going to talk about SMB budgets, and budgets are really easy. I don't know why people get stuck on this. It basically comes down to you only have a certain amount of money, don't spend more than that. There you go. Budgets are important, and yes, you need to take those seriously, but what gets overlooked a lot of the time is how you budget that time. So with every business, their budgets vary from place to place. It could be big, they could just be starting out, they could be millions of dollars, whatever. But what is the same for every single business is how many hours in a day that they have. Now hopefully you're not working 24 hours a day, but that's how much time you have in a given day, and that's it. So how do you budget that time? But more importantly, how can you cut back so that you have more of it at your disposal? First off, what is your production process and how much time is spent in that? This could be production downtime. How much time is spent between steps? Now there's some things, whether it's curing or QA or different types of sign-off, that have to happen before you move on. But if you can eliminate how much time is lost or spent between stations, between downtime, or even time spent in production, and you multiply that across all your products, think of how much time you're being able to put back into your time budget. So for example, I worked as a small airplane fabricator years ago, and one of the things that we would make was wind tunnel blades. But we would do it all at the same time. There was a group of us, and we would all work on the same types of blades, and then all reach a bottleneck where we all needed an autoclave, and we only had 2 of them. But we had 6 different groups of people working on propeller blades, and that was our bottleneck. Well, we finally figured out that we didn't all need to be working at the same time, and management was able to spread us out a little bit more across different timetables so that only a few people were working on the blades, so that autoclave was always running and we weren't waiting on something else, and different people could then move into different departments. And it saved a lot of time, and we were able to produce more. Another area that wastes a lot of time is your inventory management, whether it's time spent doing manual counts, manual adjustments, just manual processes in general. Every time that you spend a moment in that is time that you're probably losing when you could be automating a process. So an example from a company out in Vegas that uses our software. They have at the end of the month a report due for all of their salespeople, and it used to be someone's job to compile all those different sales. She would have to spend hours and hours putting this all together, making sure it's right so that commission checks could go out properly to the right person. But once they started incorporating the software, everything was already there, and instead of spending 8 hours putting this together, it was the click of a button. Imagine that. Imagine getting 8 hours back by just using something as simple as inventory software. Look at who's spending how much time on what project, and this all can be incorporated again into software so that you know what's being worked on, how long it takes, and when you start to see a deviation in that, you can make an adjustment so you can continue to keep your time budget at the appropriate scale. So remember, budgets matter, and I would talk about money, but I'm not good with it and or math, so instead I'll talk about your time. Make use of your time. I'm James, this is Whiteboard Wednesday.